And we're up. There's what's on the bench. I've been working on this for a bit, and didn't want to involve you guys unless I thought I had something. So I've been mucking around with this for a bit. Let me bring you up here. I don't know who's going to come on this morning, but just wanted to kind of go over what I had so far. So this is the 460 China saw, and if I was pulling the head, the Sergeant Clark commented, and it was like, well, if I'm going to pull the head on this thing, I'm going to change the head, because the aftermarket big bore 460 head is 54 millimeters. The regular 440 head, same as the 372, is 50. So it's a significant change. Now, I don't know about the power difference or what's actually going to be there, but since we're just messing around anyway, why not? But right away there was some pretty significant fitment issues. So the first one was just simply getting the head to sit down on the crankcase, and as it turns out, there's pretty good room on the flywheel side, but there's definitely not that good room on the clutch side, and so you actually have to grind away the crankcase a little bit over here, and I'll show you that in a minute. We'll take the head off. So that was the first issue that I had to work on, and then the second one was the fact that this one did not have a good looking squish band, so I had to do a bunch of sanding. So I spent like half an hour just sanding that silly squish band with sandpaper on the top of a piston, just spinning it. Now, it's really not the best way to do it. Again, the best way is to send it down to, have somebody to machine it, to actually put it in a lathe and use a boring bar. But this will do for now. Again, we're just messing around. So that was 2. Then I needed to actually get it so I could screw it down. So here's a crucial measurement. The distance between these two on the original head, center to center, is 48 millimeters, thereabouts. From here to here is 52. These accept M5 head bolts. This head typically accepts M6. So I'm going to be putting M5 head bolts on there because that's what the case accepts, but I needed to actually wallow out the holes a little bit in a very specific way, which again I'll show you in a minute. So I just checked the squish with the base gasket deleted here, and it's about 35 thousandths after. So I sanded the squish band a little bit, even that out. So it's about 35 thousandths, and now I can probably take the head down to the Folks and do a little bit of machining on that. And since I have a few things to machine today, I might actually just go down to the Folks today and do that. So what other fitment? The other thing I wanted to check, because I just wasn't sure, how far off is the muffler? I don't have the shield in here, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to see. And the answer is it looks like I need spacers. It looks like I need spacers down here between the muffler and the chassis, which isn't that big of a deal. Probably, a nut of some kind or whatever would work. like it's about 1/8 of an inch. But other than that, it looks like it'll fit just straight on. That's pretty cool. So definitely a couple of fitment issues. You know, I'm tempted to machine the face of this back. Then I don't have to use spacers. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because I can just, again, take this and put it on the Bridgeport, measure it for flat, and take off whatever I want. I can't take off tons because there's I basically need to take off most of this entire lip. So if you look from the top down, there's a lip here, at least on the top. But it could work. I think I'll do that. That way I don't actually have to put the spacers in there. I always cut the base to add the base gasket. Not a fan of basket delete and come back to hunt. Yeah, Vince, yeah, I do too. I don't have a gasket right now. That's probably like the biggest issue here is I don't actually have a 440 gasket. Otherwise, I would use it. I know I can make one out of paper, but for right now, I'm gonna go with the 1184. I usually prefer a gasket as well. That's my usual thing, but and I usually machine into it, and that way it's, you know, it's all built in like that, so I can run a gasket. Also on this particular one, so if I bring this to top dead center and actually make my mark on the bottom of the piston, I've got about 50 thousandths before we free port, so I can drop it that much if I need to. Right now, I drop it about 15 thousandths. I can always drop a little more later if I, if need be. So, what's going on, Tim? Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I'm doing and all kinds of silly here. This is just messing around. I've never done this 460 440 hybrid before, and I literally had this head sitting around. It was going to be for another project, but yeah. Yeah, if I can, because there's a space right here. And if you throw the bolts in, then you're just gonna bend something, and that probably wouldn't be the best. But if I machine it back, straight back, about 1/8 of an inch, I'll basically take that back pretty much as far as I reasonably can. Then I can go back in there and grind it out if I need to. I'm doing port work or whatever. Not a big deal. Cool. Okay, so I have my measurements on this, what I need to cut. What I should also do is drill out the dang holes so I can actually get a stinking driver in there. These holes, they make them way too tiny. Way too tiny. So I can't even get my regular impact in there. I have to do this all by hand. What I may end up doing future-wise is actually changing out this particular crankcase, get a different crankcase. You know, OEM crank, nicer bearings, that type of thing. But for now, we're just screwing around. You know? Why not? Cut them with the CNC, but I have a wrench on laser tool setter, literally. Yep. 10,000 RPM, 30 seconds. Ball. Yeah, I just have my folks, you know, old school Bridgeport, and so what I'll do is I'll just indicate for flat here and then take off whatever there. Hey, Harry. Really busy? Yeah. They dry around here, super dry. So we just don't have rain, which is of course not the best. I'll show you guys what I did. The squish band in here was just ugh. Better now. You can see that. It's not completely flat from here to there, but that's a lot better than it was. Anywho, if I take, just kind of kiss this, I think we'll be good. Might also do, here's another technique that I do use. So the ideal way to cut a base is to indicate for the bore. Since I can't always do that, you can indicate off the top of the piston. Which is probably a whole lot more accurate. So anyway, that's about that. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've got going here. Oh, let me show grinding on the case here, and on the cylinder you can see how I've kind of wallowed the holes here. It mostly, so if this is width, this is length, mostly for length, a little bit for width. And then if I can get it in the Bridgeport, I gotta grind most of this lip here back. Or I'll just put spacers. See, doesn't really matter. Will it affect the height at all? No, this is tilted, so it won't affect the height. Okay. It's Sunday morning. Everybody's at church, so which is good. It's fine. So I'm gonna go fiddle on the Bridgeport. I will catch you guys some other time probably. So thanks for hanging out. Do appreciate it. As soon as I find something, you know, that's relevant, I will know, but I wanted to kind of go over quickly the little fitment issues that I had so far on a 440, 460 hybrid. Yeah, yeah, Vince. If you got the tooling, then you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Me, I just I'm mucking around, doing the best I can with what I got. And usually, what I'll do is if I need something really nicely machined, I just send it down to Rattler, in North Carolina. So he's got a head on it on the way already. This one is really just messing around. So yeah. Anyway, I better run. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out for a little bit, and we will catch you guys as soon as I find something else. Okay, later, guys. Bye.